Ever wondered this small little guys who are known to have one of the shortest memory can live more than 2 to 4 decades? Goldfish are one of the world's most common pets and unfortunately are often seen as disposable. It's quite common for pet goldfish to live very short lives, with their average lifespan ranging between 5–10 years. While this may be the norm, with proper care a domesticated goldfish can live a very long life. Let's take a look at some of the oldest goldfish to ever live. Welcome to Finding Fishes, let's get started. Bob the goldfish experienced his 15 minutes of fame in 2017 when his family decided to spend $250 on an operation to save his life. Several international online news outlets reported on the story and interviewed veterinarian Dr. Faye Bethel about the operation. She said that Bob's family had noticed that he was struggling to swim and developed a lump on his fin. The delicate 30-minute operation was successful and Bob has fully recovered. Dr. Bethel said that his family was very pleased with the outcome as Bob is older than their children and considered part of their family. It is not sure if Bob is still alive or not. He was 20-year-old during the time of operation in 2017. Before he died in 2013, Plish was one half of the duo of old goldfish owned by the Wright family, called Plish and Splash. Like many of the fish on this list, Plish and Splash were funfair prizes won by Haley and Matthew Wright in 1977. After Haley and Matthew left their family home as adults, their parents Richard and Ann cared for Plish and Splash. They still take care of Splash, who outlived Plish. Plish was 36-year-old when he died. The last known age for Splash was 38 years in 2015, and not sure if he is still alive or not. Sharky was an amazing goldfish that lived to be 24 years old. His owner Palmer won him at a fair when he was only 4 years old, and they were together ever since. The strangest fact about Sharky is that his mother found him belly up and flushed him down the toilet at one point, but the athletic fish was able to swim back up into the bowl, where his amazed and relieved family retrieved him and put him back in his tank. After another goldfish in the United Kingdom gained media attention for being the oldest current living goldfish, Keith and Mary Allies stepped forward to claim that their goldfish, Fred and George, were older. According to Keith, he won the pair of fish at a fair in 1974 when he and Mary were only dating. Since then, the now married couple have kept the goldfish, who have outlived 2 of their dogs. Keith and Mary said that they never thought that Fred and George would live past a few months, let alone over 40 years. The Allies say that Fred and George are still very active, despite how old they look, and they believe that the fish might outlive them. Although there is a fish older than Tish on this list, a year before his death, he was recognized by Guinness World Records as the oldest living goldfish. In his later years, Tish was owned by Hilda Hand. In 1956, Mrs. Hand's son, Peter, won Tish and another goldfish named Tosh at a funfair. Tosh lived for 19 years until he died in 1975. Mrs. Hand said that Tish was part of her family and she felt that he could recognize her and knew when it was feeding time. She attributes Tish's long life to not being overfed and sometimes being put out in the garden to feel the sun. Goldie was 45 years old when he died in 2005, which makes him the oldest goldfish in the world. According to one of his owners, Pauline Evans, Goldie has been in her family since the 1960s. He was originally owned by her parents until they died in the late 1990s. While he was alive, Goldie garnered international media attention and the Evans family donated any money earned by Goldie's appearances to charity. They asked that any checks be made out to the Branch House School and Center, which helps children with physical disabilities. Although Goldie is widely believed to be the oldest goldfish that ever lived, he was not entered into the Guinness Book of Records due to a lack of documentary proof.